The echo of a mother's cry. It was a cold, gray afternoon in late autumn. The dry wind whispered across the open fields, carrying the sound of rustling grass and the lonely call of a mother. Her name was Aiyma, a woman in her mid-30s, worn by grief but driven by the fierce hope of finding her son, George. George had gone missing 2 years earlier under mysterious circumstances. Everyone said he was gone for good. But not Aiyma. Every day she walked alone through barren fields, calling his name into the emptiness. "George, my boy, where are you?" Her voice trembled, breaking under the weight of sorrow. She searched every hill, every shadow, with her heart pounding at each echo. And then, that day as clouds gathered above and the sky darkened, she heard it. "Mom!" She froze. Aiyma turned toward the sound. There, near a small patch of stone, stood a boy in ragged clothes, thin, dirt-smudged, and trembling. But those eyes, they were unmistakable. "George!" she cried, racing toward him. They collapsed into each other's arms. The mother held him tight as tears flowed from her eyes. George whispered, "I never stopped hoping you'd find me." George's terrifying story. Back home, wrapped in a warm blanket and surrounded by the scent of fresh bread and tea, George finally found the strength to tell his story. "I was going to get ice cream near the corner. A man pulled up in a black car and said Dad sent him. I believed him." His voice cracked. Aiyma's hands trembled. "They took me to a place outside the city. It was a big house with metal bars on the windows. Other kids were there too. They made us do hard labor in the fields. We were barely fed. Anyone who tried to escape was beaten." George wiped a tear and continued. "But I kept thinking of you. I could hear your voice in my dreams. One night, I found a loose bar in the back fence. I escaped. I hid in forests, walked through fields, and finally, I got here." Aiyma hugged him again, whispering, "You're home now. No one will ever take you again." The shadows return. 3 days after George returned, a black SUV appeared near their house. Inside were 3 men. One of them, smoking a cigarette, stared at the window. George froze in terror. "It's them. They're here." Aiyma's face turned to stone. She locked the door and hid her son behind the couch. Then came the knock. A voice from outside growled, "Give him back. He's ours. Or we'll come in and take him." But Aiyma wasn't just any mother. That same night, she posted George's story and pictures of the traffickers online. The next morning, the country was in shock. News channels exploded with headlines. "Mother saves son from human traffickers." The mafia tried to return. But this time, the police were waiting. The courtroom. The arrest of the kidnappers sparked a national investigation. But the mastermind, Antonio Salazar, remained at large. A powerful crime boss hiding in South America, Antonio was furious. "That woman ruined everything. I'll silence her myself." Soon, Aiyma began receiving threats. But she didn't hide. Standing before cameras, she declared, "I won't be silent. No parent should fear for their child's safety. If I stood up alone, so can others." The nation rallied. Months later, Antonio was found in a jungle estate and captured in an international raid. In court, Aiyma testified with quiet strength. "I am a mother, and a mother's love is the strongest weapon on earth. You kidnapped my child, but you didn't break us. You gave us a voice." The crowd in the courtroom stood and applauded. Antonio was sentenced to life in prison, a new beginning. Today, Aiyma runs a foundation that helps search for missing children. She visits schools, speaks to communities, and teaches parents and kids how to stay safe. George, now back in school, wrote an essay titled, "My Mom is a Hero." Their journey was painful, but it lit a path for others. The world would never forget the woman who walked into a field alone and walked back with a child, hope, and the power to change everything.